Very long day, but we can still have our live stream and I can help you out the best that I can. I know that there are a lot of questions about what to buy, and I never have the time to get through all of them. So we're going to be doing the live stream this way. And besides, it allows us to just kind of literally kick back, relax, and be very informal and just talk about what we need to. Now, I just want to open for those who are maybe going to watch this video later to kind of give you a general idea of what you can expect. So, as far as the best TVs to get right now, we're going to just go through the price range. So, sub $100, don't do it. It's just not worth it. You're going to have to work your way up to at least $330, give or take, and then that's where you're going to find the Hisense U6. After that, the next price point will be about the $400 price range. Then you're looking at the TCL QM7 or the Hisense U7, but I would go for the TCL QM7 over the Hisense for pretty much everything besides the color advantage. And I would say after that, it probably gets a little bit more limited because TCL has the higher brightness and things of that nature. And then when we're talking about the $800 price range, you're pretty much looking at a Hisense U8 or like a U8N or something. Or well, yeah, we're on N, right? I can't even keep up, right? Hisense U8N, and then we're on the TCL QM8. And then for somebody who wants an OLED, really your only real options are probably going to be LG, right? So I don't think anybody is going to be surprised to know that if you again want a OLED that's going to be in the under $1,000 ballpark, your only option is like what, like the B4 on sale or something like that. Maybe you can even go back a little ways further and find some of the other B series, like a B3 or something like that. You get that on sale for pretty good money right now. Entry price, anyway. Of course, if you want a bigger screen size, that fetches a bigger price tag, things of that nature. The Christian Conservative, what's going on, brother? And as everybody's coming in right now, just make sure you ask your questions while I'm here. I'm trying to take as much time as I can away from the kids so I can give you guys the information because I try to keep up with this every Friday, but it's literally like if it's not one thing, it's another. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's been so hectic lately, especially like I just recently got out of the hospital for those that wanted to know, and I've been sending their well wishes. Thank you. I have been recovering. Finally, the pain stops. I mean, I've been sitting there for like the better part of like 2 months, like agonizing like every freaking day. So it's nice to actually be able to walk around again. I never thought I'd miss walking, but yeah, that's a thing. So I can finally walk somewhat normal, still healing, but I'm happy to be in good spirits again. So thank you guys that sent your prayers and everything. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm gonna say hi to Michael Chavez and Craig. What's going on? First question I have right now is, do you have any recommendations on 32-inch TVs? Usually the Samsung Q6 line. So it doesn't matter what year you go, that would be what I would go to because those TVs usually go down to 32 and you usually can get a pretty damn good look. Now, that being said, though, most 32-inch TVs aren't really made that great, so you're probably going to be very limited. I would say if you're really looking for quality, but you need that size, I probably would maybe look at one of the QD OLED monitors since they come with HDMI devices or HDMI inputs, which would allow you to hook up a PS5 or whatever, and you can kind of get away with it. Now, if you needed obviously like a traditional TV with speakers, the whole kit and caboodle, well, then you're kind of going to have to go the route of again a cheaper TV that's not going to give you the quality. But so far, monitors are the only workaround for people who want high quality at a really small size, though. But yes, as you mentioned, there aren't very many options. I hope you get better, bro. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you. Enoch, what's going on, brother? You said, what's good, Quantum? I find it very interesting on the TCL QM7 because you mentioned about having better motion. Yeah, it actually has really good motion comparatively to a lot of the TVs that I've seen. It's not flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely way above what I ever thought TCL would be able to render or produce. Like, I'm like, TCL is really coming a long way in a very short period of time. And I think we've got to give credit where credit is due for sure. Um, did the brightness nerf with the S90D hurt it badly? I thought it did initially, but then I had my S90D and S95 side by side, and it's very noticeable, but only when you get to like full screen brightness. So I feel like it's doing more like, brightness limiting on full screen brightness more so than anything else. And that's where I'm noticing the biggest differences because like I watch a lot of anime and anime loves they're like going back in the past memory. And when they do that, the screen goes white and you know how it gets. They get all dreamy and they're all like, oh, we're going back in the past. Well, when that happens, like ABL kicks on really hard on the 90D. And I'm like, what the hell? It wasn't doing this before in SDR. And on the 95, it doesn't do that. So I think they're trying more to make the 90D less of a domineering force, if you will, so that you buy the step up model. Because before there kind of was no real reason to buy the 95 at all, because the 90D was actually brighter. And if you go back to even Arting's old videos, they tell you that the 95 had the ability, like it basically did this throttling thing where it would dim itself down when it reaches a certain temperature. And then you look at something like the 90D where it wasn't doing that and it was maintaining its brightness. And that's kind of what I found too. It just had this like nature where it really was great at blasting out highlights and it didn't dim down too aggressively. Where now I'm noticing the dimming. And that's after the 1201 firmware for anybody who has something earlier. So if you have something earlier, don't update if you don't want this effect. Now, it doesn't destroy the picture quality, but it does nerf it, so it makes it a little bit weaker. Not anywhere near as egregious as what we saw on TVs like the Samsung S95B. That I think to this day, I will never forgive Samsung and be the most salty about because we go from the best TV I've ever seen in life in all of my years. Still to this day, nothing has ever looked as good as a day one Samsung S95B. The vibrancy and the brightness were literally flawless to the point where I wanted nothing else. It was perfect. And they ruined it. They ruined it because it was the perfect TV, and why would you ever buy another one? That's really what it is. Every year I feel like they have to pump out some half-ditch effort, some like, compromised TV. Because if they truly make the perfect TV with all the cool technology we have today, you wouldn't buy it. Nobody would buy any more TVs. And well, aren't they just in the business of making TVs every year? So of course they're not going to make one that you don't ever need to upgrade. That's just not in their best interest. So that's why we always have to say, "Oh, well the picture sure looks good, but motion is shit," or "Oh, motion is bad, but the picture is good." There's always a trade-off and I get tired of it, but that is unfortunately what it is. So yeah, it did nerf the S90D a little bit. Best 77-inch TV to buy. I would say the best would probably be a Sony A95L. And the reason for this is unlike what we see on Samsung, where they're playing games with everybody, and I honestly believe it's a matter of time before the FTC steps in and says, you know what, this is unethical, illegal, and you can't false advertise to people, or at least you have to be very clear about what you're selling. I feel like it's a matter of time before that happens because right now it's like, is it a QD OLED or is it a WOLED? We don't know. And I mean, just for everybody watching, the safe thing to do, if you are looking at a QD OLED, understand that you really are just looking at essentially 55 to 65-inch screen sizes. Once you start looking at over that, that's where it gets a little shaky and you may or may not get a WOLED. That's just as real as it gets. Larger or smaller, you're going to run into some problems. And if you go smaller, just go with a monitor. That way you know you're getting QD OLED and you don't have to guess. But yeah, I would say go with an A95L. If that's a bit much to swing, I would say then you kind of have to go down the ladder, right? Next best as far as 75 inches, I would say I would go for something like a TCL QM8. That will be a damn good experience, and I think you'll be well over the moon with that as long as you're not like watching off at an angle, which is where OLED comes in. And then if you really have no choice, then go WOLED, but really I don't recommend WOLEDs because they just don't have the same color purity and vibrancy as the QD OLED counterparts. And for that, I would wait to see if 2025 has newer options, maybe from LG or Samsung or Sony or whoever that will entice us in the QD OLED market. Um, Thank you very much. No problem, Michael. Bought a 77-inch S90D for 2100 USD. Black Friday per your recommendation. Quantum can't wait. Just make sure for everybody buying the 95 and the 90D or any of the TVs that I recommend, you have to join to see what I'm talking about. Because out of the box, you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to look at these TVs and be like, what the hell? This guy is running a scam. This looks terrible. Out of the box, it looks bad. It will look so bad, but trust the process even in the beginning when it doesn't really look like it'll all fall together. And then when you see the final product, that's when you're gonna be like, all right, I did good for myself. I bought a good TV and I feel happy with this. I think that's the best thing that you're gonna see at the end of this whole thing. So just trust the process. Danny, what's going on, brother? You said trying out Dragon Ball Z. What is it? Trying out Dragon Ball Z being your favorite game. I don't know what you mean. Trying it out, or is it my favorite? I don't know if it's a typo or not. Gerard, what's going? I think that's not Gerard. Is it? No, it's Gerard. I don't know how I messed that up. What's going on, man? You said Hisense 75-inch, any good? I would go to maybe something like the U9 series or U8 series. I wouldn't go for the U7 series. For that, TCL is just offering a better amount of brightness and a better amount of local dimming zones comparatively to what Hisense is kicking out for that size. So, and then there's like weird stuff that tends to happen with Hisense where sometimes they go IPS or, AEDS panels, and you have to have one of those nice little digital microscopes to be able to check, and if you don't, then you're not gonna know what you're just gonna be like, did I get the right thing or not? So it's really a pain in the ass. So I would just go with TCL if we're going with like the 75 and up for sure, especially because their prices are damn good and their pictures are even better. What's going on? Red Games, what's happening, brother? Thanks for being a member. You said, hey, Quantum, or hey, Q, I won again. Bought a TV because of your reviews. I appreciate it. Got the S90D. Thanks for your videos. I love the TV. I'm glad I'm able to help you find the right TV because, I mean, you guys saw I had that power surge and I lost my favorite, my S95B. Come on, man. I'm gutted still. I want my S95B back, but they're discontinued. What can I do but move forward, right? And so what did I buy? I literally 95D and B gone. What did I buy? The S90D and the S95B. I literally bought them. They're there, and I love it. It really is the true like definition of television and like personified. Like the way I watch, I could never go back. It's amazing. Um, Mike, what's going on? What's wrong with the S90C? The S90C has diluted color. So it honestly, yes, it has quantum dots, but they're very low grade. They're not high end at all. And they really that year worked very hard to make the 95C stand out way more than the 90C, which the 90C clearly looks like the budget version of it. Now, on a side note, I don't think I made this video yet. I probably didn't, but there is did I don't even remember what videos I'm making. It's been one hell of a week, I'm telling you, you have no idea. But the freaking damn 90 so what Samsung is coming out with a new technology basically, which is their Live Color Pro, or their what is it? Their Color Booster Pro versus just the regular Color Booster. So we can look forward to new technology and the new Samsungs. I would say anything that's going to be really QLED is going to have it. So you can expect it on the Q6 probably, maybe not. But definitely when you start looking at like their like QN 85s and up, you'll definitely see this pro version of their color technology. Now, I don't know what that means for the processor. Is there a new processor in this year that works similarly to what we had maybe even in years prior? I don't know, but it is something to note. I will have a video on it formally talking about it, but it is something that I definitely have my eyes out for. Um, we have somebody, you said, I actually like the C better than the D. Why? Why would you like the C better than the D? The color booster feature is just way better. Personal opinion, not actually attacking you. That's just my opinion though. You keep yours offline. That's good. Thoughts on the LG B4 48-inch being 599? I wouldn't buy it for 599. I think that's a bit high because for literally like 499, I can get a TCL QM7 77-inch. Black levels are good. They're not flawless like an OLED, I'll give you that. But the brightness is worlds greater than anything that LG is doing. The sound is way better than anything LG is doing. The remote's backlit. It's not the old Magic remote. I mean, there are just tons of benefits with going with something like the TCL Q7M over something like the B4, especially at a 48-inch. That's a really small size unless you're at a desk. I really couldn't see making that a mainstay TV personally. Now, again, if you know that that's something that you want to do, great. But I think at that price, that's a little high for a 48-inch. I feel like they would need to come down a bit. I feel like for if you're only giving me 48 inches, why am I paying you like literally full screen size TVs? Because again, after taxes, you're gonna be over 600 bucks for this. It's just not worth it. I mean, for that, you might as well save up a couple $100, literally, like what, 6, 7, 8, two, literally $200 more dollars, and go with a cutie OLED that's like maybe 32 inches or something like that, and get a monitor. That's what I would do. I wouldn't buy some outdated OLED tech for like top dollar. It just doesn't make sense. And that for me is top dollar personally. Um, the Christian conservative, what's going on, man? You said it's false advertising as the price goes down, nerfs go up. It really is, and I do get really sick of seeing the nerfs happen the lower the price goes. It's like we work so hard trying to just have fun, and then the next thing we know, we buy a TV that we love and we enjoy it for all of 6 months until it comes to this time of year, Black Friday, or the whole CES time of year. Magically, watch what I'm telling you right now. Come fucking January, late December, there'll be a brand new fucking patch. Shit's gonna start getting weird, and everybody's gonna be like, my TV, I don't remember it being this bad, but I don't know. I feel like I could upgrade. It gives you that feeling of like you're losing something or something comparatively because they've soured your pot, so to speak, with the updates. And again, these companies, all of them, really, if you really look into it, they get in a lot of trouble for these updates, but it really equates to them just paying fines. Oh, you pay 250,000 here, you pay a million here. I mean, like, this is totally unrelated, but I mean, we saw what happened with Conor McGregor, right? He was convicted, right? And did he go to prison? No. He just has to pay a $250,000 fine. Meanwhile, he makes like 100 mil a fight. Literally, like he makes millions a fight, and he has to pay 250,000. That doesn't hurt him. But this is the point. They live in a world separate from you and I. I mean, like we have to deal with the consequences of life, and they get to live above the clouds. That's why my channel exists, to kind of level the playing field for us, because fuck that shit, man. Like, who really wants to be sitting there paying top dollar and buying the best TV at the time, and then just for all the reviews to finally come out, when all the reviews are done, then they go back in, tweak some shit, and ruin your shit. Like, it's the biggest pet peeve I have. Biggest one when we talk about televisions is the fact that they just go in and mess shit up. And that's why I say just keep your TV offline. Use a separate device, a PlayStation 5, a Google Stick, or whatever you have, Fire Stick. I don't care. Don't put that thing online if you really like it. Because if you like it and you're satisfied with the performance and it's never had your Wi Fi password, guess what? It can't guess your Wi Fi password, meaning no auto updates for you. But once you put your Wi Fi password in one time, you're done. You guys saw what happened on the Bravia 9 review that I did, where basically I got screwed. Like the moment I put in my Wi-Fi, I had to comply to all the stuff, including putting in my personal Google account just to sign into the TV to even use it at all. Once it had Wi-Fi information, like how disrespectful! Like it's just getting worse for us as consumers, and it's because nobody wants to be the negative guy or the controversial guy, because the truth apparently is controversial to people. But the reality is, when you go to these places and you buy, you're not always getting what you deserve, and that's the part that really bugs me. Like, I try so hard with all of my reviews to just show the most transparent version of a review in existence. Like, this from start to finish is what it is, regardless of how I might feel about it. This is what it is. Now, in that there are some people that I guess don't like certain language pieces that I'll use, like when I'll say this is garbage. And again, maybe it's my opinion that something is garbage, but I think universally garbage is garbage, right? If I have a banana peel and I throw it in the trash and say this is garbage, it's garbage. The same way, if somebody's going in and changing a television after I already know what I want and I loved it and got great glowing reviews, and then you updated it and ruined it, that's garbage, because that's garbage. Same way, you guys know what I mean. Same way all this other stuff is, but you get my idea. Um, and if you choose to replace your S95B, if you were me, would you choose the S95D or the 90D? Um, well, it goes kind of like two ways, because I kind of didn't choose, so I am not particularly qualified to answer that. When I had a 95B, two of them, um, I I didn't choose. I bought the 90 and the 95 because I refused to choose. If you have to, you have no choice. I'd have to go with the 95 because the full screen brightness, it does take a lot of the effect out of your content. And even though the 95D definitely has less contrast comparatively to what I found on, let's say, the S90D, for sure, especially with reflections and again, details like foliage and stuff like that. I have the best experience when I'm looking at that peak highlight just blast through on certain scenes and examples. I mean, if you play a game like Stellar Blade, you'll be, I mean, especially with the new DLC, which, oh yeah, we're doing that. Come on, B2, what's up? Who else is doing that? Let me know below. But that is that's pinnacle. That's peak. That's what we want, right? And I need those highlights when I get to those moments where you have the fire going off in the background, the catch lights, the little dramatic lights, the practical lights. And for anybody wondering what I mean when I say practical lights, like shit like this, like these lights like back here behind me, like just little lights, practical lights in the background. That's the kind of stuff that like in content I want to be like perfect. The 90 gets it great, but it's not bright. If the 90 had the S95D brightness with the S90D's clarity, best TV on earth. Best TV on earth today because it gets really rich with colors and vibrant, almost like a day one S95B with brightness that we've never seen on OLEDs before. And I think if we could get the two to like marry each other, both types of technologies, we're gonna win in a way we've never won before. So that's what I would say there. Now, for everybody who's like, I guess maybe, I guess tempted too, because I know it's tempting looking at Sony and saying, I want a Sony Bravia 7, or maybe the Bravia 3 won't be a bad, kids' room TV. Don't do it to yourself. Let Sony improve, please, because I'm telling you, there's a better Sony than that and we've all seen it. I know my counterparts don't want to mention that, but in the past, Sony was so much better. 2017 to be specific, the 900E still today, best Sony TV. If they had the black levels of today, nothing that Sony makes right now would touch it. It's that good. And I think again, it was because of the object-based HDR remastering that Sony had back then that I guess they forgot about now because they don't do that anymore for SDR conversion to HDR. And I think we can do better than that. Now, I would say, like, if you are really just gonna buy a Sony, no matter what somebody says, what I would end up doing, I would probably buy the Sony X93L. It's on a good price. I've seen some for like 1,600 bucks, 15.99. That's nothing, and the motion was really decent on that TV. And then I also like the way that the colors, the brightness, it all worked together. Yes, it still has blooming, but it's not as bad as one would think, especially given the price point. So that's what I would say there. Now, in terms of let's say maybe I don't know, somebody who wants an LG, I do see this a lot. A lot of people are saying, "Okay, I want an LG. I don't really want any of the other brands. What's wrong with WOLED?" It's just dated technology. So if you're going to buy something that out of the gate is going to get left behind, because again, they're already talking about, hey, we figured out how to put micro LEDs inside of a little tiny television for Samsung for their wall. They learned how to shrink it and put it into a TV module. So expect to see more of that at CES, by the way. Um, I think when the conversation of micro LED happens more and more, inkjet printing for OLEDs happen more and more, this new phosphorus that they're going to be doing. I think it's like pH phosphor or whatever. I don't remember off the top of my head that they're going to be doing for LG. Bet your bottom dollar they're going to be talking about that at CES. When you start to see all the new innovations, you're not going to want the old stuff. You're going to be like, why the fuck did I just spend the same exact money that they're asking for that, for this? And then you're going to hate it. So that's why I always say it's outdated. WOLED, let it die. Let it die, let it innovate, and then let it get something brand new in there. And then you're gonna be like, holy shit, I win. This is what I wanted from LG. Because I promise you, the moment LG has the same or equivalent color to what we have on QD OLED, it's kind of a wrap for everybody. Because I truly believe this. Well, hear this. I truly believe LG has the closest formula to being the best TV on the planet Earth. Period, unbeatably so, because their motion is usually really good. They have great AI features, great features in general. It's easy to use. It doesn't go through all of this terms of service shit, right? And then if we could is tack sharp, especially like the G4, if we had S90D level of color on top of that brightness and clarity, who would beat that? I can't think of a brand around, not even Samsung. Because you know what? Say what you will, Samsung isn't perfect and they've got a lot of room that they can improve too. I mean, Everybody has been telling Samsung, I think, for the longest period of time that they want Dolby Vision. I don't personally like Dolby Vision, but that is something that your fans are telling you. Maybe listen, and then maybe stop fucking with your TVs with updates. That would be something that Samsung can improve upon. But Samsung sucks too though, because they have this habit of making like the best, and I mean the best TVs, and then ruining them. And that's where I get confused, because I'm like, dude, if you're gonna make the best TVs, why not just keep them the best? Because come on, dude. But that's what I'll say there. Um, but that's for just Samsung and Sony. There's also TCL we've talked about. I mean, TCL is pretty safe in general this year. Don't know about next year. They don't ever really talk about what they're inventing. Hisense has fallen. I remember back at the H9F days, they were fantastic. And now it's like after the H8K, it's like after that, they went down, and they're not trying to get back because I guess everybody's too busy talking about, oh, they're the best value you can get. Value doesn't mean anything if you're not holding quality. I don't give a fuck about value if I'm not getting the same consistent quality I had in years prior. Because my U8G beat the new shit magically. Nobody wants to compare to the older Hisenses. I don't understand that. Like, did they all like disappear off the market? No. And don't tell me that the people at the absolute top of this YouTube pyramid can't compare, because they can. They just don't want to. It's not in their best interest to say, hey, look, this is how Hisense used to be, and this is what they look like now. I did it with the G4. I mean, and yeah, sure, people will call you out of your name and they'll say all kinds of stuff, but you know what? When you consistently show the truth over and over again, it is gonna be just that, the truth. Because I'll tell you right now, it might feel better when people don't say everything that needs to be said, and maybe don't highlight it, because who wants to be overly dramatic, right? The sky is always falling mentality. But the reality is you have to point this stuff out, because I tell you what's going to happen. Everything that was done in the dark will be brought to light. It just will. If you hide things and you sneak around and you manipulate and deceive people by not telling the truth, everything you do in the dark is going to come to light. It happens that way. It could take time for that to happen, but when you buy the TV, you'll know. And when other people buy it, they'll know. They'll be like, wait a minute, something's off. And then you'll look at the Amazon reviews, and then people are going to have 4 stars if they are honest, right? And they don't pay people, which the FTC, by the way, for anybody who hasn't seen, they basically killed the age of influencers. They're like, you're not allowed to get paid reviews anymore. You're not allowed to get commissions anymore for doing reviews. It's amazing. Like, and no YouTuber, you notice, no YouTubers want to talk about this in the tech field. They're all quiet. They're like, let's hope they don't pick up on this. But you're not allowed to do it anymore. You're like, the age of money for review gone, according to the FTC. That's not allowed. But again, this is why I do things the way I do it, because I already knew one day this shit was going to catch up to everybody shilling and selling out. You have to be honest with people. And you're going to see a race for everybody to try to encroach on the community that we've built, where they're going to be like, no, we're honest. We've always been honest. No, you haven't. No, you've left things out for the sake of being liked. Because if you look, which by the way, a huge thank you to all you guys, because we recently just hit what, 90,000 followers? That's amazing, because unlike everybody else, we did it the honest, hard way, the unpopular way, said the things that people don't want to always hear, the uncomfortable truths. But you know what? That's how you know I truly care about you. Because if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't waste my time getting hated to tell you something that would help you. I would see you go down the wrong path and nod my head, do it. I'm making money off of you, do it. Yeah. But see, I don't do that. I go, you know what? That's maybe not the thing to do because X, Y, and Z. And instead, notice how I always give it instead, an alternative avenue. Go this way. Do this. It's better. Of course, people don't like it because they think I'm bought and paid off by the avenue I tell you to go down, which I'm never paid off to do. But it just sucks, because it's like I want to help so many people, but my reach only goes so far. But you're going to see it happen. The more we talk about Black Friday and things like that, the more you're going to see people just telling you to buy almost anything that's cheap, right? Once prices go down, YouTubers get stupid. Oh, prices crash. We've had a crash. It's not the stock market. Prices didn't crash. They lowered it to clear out inventory. Stop it. You'll have people that'll do that. And so you have to use discernment, right? You have to use what I will call influencer discernment and know who is bullshitting you and who's not. And most of us are good at doing that, of course, which I know, but still, it is something to mention because it is a problem in the industry. In terms of everything else, I think again, Black Friday is pretty self-explanatory. Don't do the hot buy stuff. The hot buy stuff is like all the shit in Best Buy that they'll have at the doorbuster deals and all that. Oh, get this Sansui. Like, no, don't do that shit. Leave Sansui where the fuck he's at because if you get him, you'll regret it. Especially because they usually are about the same price as a TCL QM7 or a Hisense U6. Especially when you talk about the doorbuster deals at $300, just get a Hisense U6. It has quantum dots. It has mini LED. It has everything you need. Just do that. You know, don't waste your money on trivial garbage just for purchasing. And I think you'll be okay. Now, I don't know if you guys are asking questions or if the chat lagged out, but if you have questions, make sure you ask them because so far the last thing I got was from the Christian Conservative, and that was it. I know that you guys are in the chat, but I don't see it. So it could just be YouTube being a glitchy pile of garbage, which that does happen from time to time. So if you are asking questions and it's like I'm seemingly ignoring you, I'm not ignoring you. I'm literally just not getting anything. So just keep that in mind as well. I'm gonna try to see if I can filter it and go all messages. And yeah, see, there are more that just popped up by filtering it. This is what I mean. I can't win with stuff like this. Okay, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. The last thing I got, and I do try to get to everybody, so just be patient. I'm holding this so I can see it. I'm gonna go down. Okay, so I'm gonna start back from where we were. Matt Cardle, what's going on? You said I'm too poor for Sony. I bought the Samsung S90D, and that's okay. You don't need a whole lot of money to get the best. What's going on with Vizio? Vizio's basically out of the game. They haven't really been innovating this year, so who knows if they'll return. Uh, I'm seeing people returning the S90D and the 90 and 90D at Best Buy. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, those are probably people that like have high hopes, right? You don't watch Quantum TV. You don't know that better settings exist. You expect QD OLED to be wow. You take it out of the box and you're like, what the fuck is this? Because I promise everyone watching, if you buy an S90D and you do not use my settings, you will be like, what the hell is this? I was. I looked at it and I'm like, this is disgusting. It literally happened last night. I forgot when I was watching Arcane League of Legends. Okay. By the way, one of the best shows on Amazon, or not Amazon, Netflix. Watch it. Wow. That storytelling is so good. It's so good. You're gonna love it, okay? I'm probably gonna watch it now. Well, I have to wait till tomorrow because the last three episodes come out on the 23rd of November. So I'm gonna be right there watching the season finale or whatever it is for season two. But oh my god, such a good show. Back to topic though. You're not going to see what I'm talking about. I will sound like a unicorn. I know I will. But you have to trust the process, like I say. And again, people thinking it's like an easy shakedown and grift. Nobody grifts and shakes you down for $5, okay? At $4.99, I make it affordable. YouTube's telling me to have my membership to like 19.99 a month. Okay, that's what they want me to do. That's their advice. And I said, fuck you, no. I'm going to keep it at $4.99. That's my way because I want everybody to afford the picture quality that I'm talking about and not get screwed over, right? So that's just and again, the whole reason why we even charge it all is because A, you have to pay for some things of quality, right? And $4 is not really much of a price, and it helps the channel out so we can continue to do what we do and shit like that. But again, that's what's up with us being crowd and self-funded. But again, that's the best part though about the settings. When you see them, ask other people who have seen them. They are amazing. Like I'm working right now on the S90D. I got more stuff for that and the S95 comparisons coming up, everything. It's just been really, as I said, crazy between again, hospital, life in general. Oh, I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to get into personal matters. But yeah, there's a lot of shit. But yeah, it's life is lifing, right? So when that happens, you have to adjust with it. But what I'll tell you is the 90D is the way to go if you are looking for quality, beautiful color, all that good stuff. 95 if you need that brightness though, for sure. Red Games, what's going on? You said, by the way, have you uploaded the HDR settings for gaming for the 90D? I have some, just not the new ones that I'm working on, so you gotta hang tight for that. But the new ones should be about finished soon here. Again, it just depends on timing, on how much time in the day I have to finish it all off, because they do take a considerable amount of time. HDR takes way longer than SDR, which is why I don't like making them. It takes so long. It's not as simple as like SDR, it works with everything. HDR, literally, it'll look fantastic for one game. I was like, wow, Horizon Forbidden West is amazing. And I'll be like, wow, Spider-Man looks great. And then I'll fucking turn on like Injustice 2 and I'm like, that looks like shit. And then I gotta go back to the drawing board because maybe you play Injustice 2. So I always have to bounce between multiple games, multiple titles for the HDR gaming settings, and it takes a fuck ton of time. It like months. I hate it. It's like it's no, I hate it. It's the worst. It really is. I wish I had like a quantum TV that could do this shit for me, but I'm the only one that knows how to do this shit. It fucking sucks, especially when I get a new TV and I want a game. I'm like, can someone please just fucking give me the settings so I don't have to do this shit? I fucking show up and I'm done. I just plug and play and I'm fucking chilling, you know? But no, there I am like a stupid ass, always sitting there, all right, and we gotta do this and we gotta do that. Oh, nope, that needs a change. Oh. It's so much work. You guys will never know. I can say it and you'll still never know the endless hours I do on this. My wife has to grab me, be like, babe, like, what are you doing? All right, she has to take my fucking phone, take the remote, turn off the TV. And even then, I'm like, babe, what are you doing? I'm making settings. What are you doing? She's like, I don't care. I don't care. You're done. You're done. I gotta stop then. But still, though, man, it's a whole ass process for sure. So just bear with me. It'll get done. I guarantee it, though. What do you think about the TCL Q651Q? I think it's a good starter TV, but I would probably lean more towards Hisense if I'm being honest. Definitely joining for your settings when my S90D arrives. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna enjoy it. I guarantee it. I can't watch it any other way. I refuse to watch the standard or anything else. Like, I remember when I first started this back in like 2012, it was like Digital Trends, Artings, me, Modern Wise back then was what he went by. I don't know if he still does his stuff. Um, there was a couple other channels. There was what? It was somebody like OLED something. Quantum OLED displays. That was the other channel. There were so many guys that just like dropped off out of nowhere. But yeah, no, it was us doing that, and I remember we were all doing that, and they all were like making settings and everything like that, and everybody would do that back in the day, and I can tell you right now, nowadays, you just don't have the same community anymore where everybody's like fucking actively making settings. Everybody wants to be like, a comparison king nowadays. Like, oh, I've got five TVs. It's like a 2-on-1 assault. It's like I guess if that's what you want to do. I mean, comparisons are important, but they're not the whole story. I wish more people did settings because that would be dope. But anyway, back to the questions. Michael Harris, what's going on? You said I was looking buy the 85-inch Hisense U6 and Amazon has it for 997. It's 29% off. Is it a good deal? Mm, I mean, it's hard because of the size. I'm gonna have to say no because the U6 is the lowest of the line, and I know if you go with the TCL 7 series, you'll get likely a vastly better experience than the Hisense 6 series. For a very similar price. I don't know price to size. I think it might be slightly more expensive, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, you should get a PS5 Pro, man. Uh, I just couldn't do it. It's the whole like we all suffered to get a PlayStation 5, and I know we all suffered, right? Price gougers were screwing it up for us. We couldn't order one. We waited forever. Finally got one. So excited, like, oh my gosh, I got this thing. And they don't make any games for it. Like hardly any at all, like that are like exclusive to the PS5. So that left a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm still waiting for Wolverine, and I still want to see unique games that are like just for PlayStation, but this is kind of like a bad time to be a console gamer because they don't really care anymore. After a year, they basically put all of the PlayStation exclusives that matter on PC, and I'm a PC gamer, so now I'm really like, well, why do I need to buy a PlayStation or own a PlayStation then? Like, for what? I don't see the purpose anymore. So I don't know. PlayStation has really lost its shine for me. So that's not really for me. But if you guys like it, hey, power to you. But I'm kind of out of the whole console gaming thing, especially once we talk about mods, man. I'm gonna just tell you right now, you haven't lived as a gamer until you mod it. Like your Sparking Zero on the PS5 Pro will never be as magical as like being able to go in and add new character slots and add new character. I got Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, Super Saiyan 5 Gohan, Super Saiyan 6 Gohan, fucking like I got all kinds of crazy shit. Like, it's dope. Like Sparking Zero is like a way different game. And you guys have to pay for that on PlayStation, where we don't pay for that. It's like modders make it, we download it for free, and we just learn how the mod files work, and that's it. Like that's the kind of gaming that I would want. So I guess for some PS5, but nah, I have to pass on the PS5 Pro, man. Sorry, brother. Emmanuel, what's going on, man? You said I'm loving my 77-inch Samsung S90D for Black Ops. Is Black Ops any good? Because I haven't really heard much positive or negative about it. Arthur, what's going on, man? You said, who do you think is doing better in 2024, Hisense or TCL? TCL 100%. Hisense just kind of got lazy, I guess, because they got a lot of, rightfully so, they were doing good. They were like the new kids on the block that were crapping on everybody, and then out of nowhere, they just lost that energy and got lazy. So, yeah. Scarlet Uzumaki. Gotta love the nod at the Naruto reference. That's pretty dope. Thanks for being a long-time member here. And you said went with the 65 S90C second generation when it was available for $9.99 last week. That's not a bad price for a 65. You said, and did the soft mod to the S95C. That was an absolute steal, a great upgrade from the C1. Yeah, I would agree on that one for sure. Sadly, I can't even upgrade or mod mine because they removed that ability altogether out of the S95 and S90D. So no more secret menu and modifications and all that. We just started to know too much. We started to learn a little too much. Um, Now, also towards the end of this live stream, I want to do something a little wonky, but I think this would start community engagement a little bit more and be a little bit more fun and not so like serious all the time. I want to get into like, I don't know, like your favorite conspiracy theories and like why they're your favorite conspiracy theories. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of them and we never really talk about them because they're like taboo, but fuck it, let's have fun, right? But that's just me being quirky, so don't mind me if you don't want to participate in that. But if so, let me know down below. I'm thinking next year I probably will get the LG G4 65-inch or the Sony Bravia 9. Mm, I would wait for 2025. I think you'll do better with both brands with 2025 for sure. Emmanuel, what's going on? You said my only question would be, can I use your settings and change it to cool instead of warm one for HDR? You can, absolutely. It's actually gonna do you a lot of good when you start changing color temperatures because you're gonna start to see more of what you would like. Because my settings run warm. My settings always will run warm because that's how you unlock more shades of color, right? But if that's too warm for you, you can always try a cooler color temperature. And usually 9 times out of 10, everybody that tries that, it's bang on for them for the particular color palette. Some people literally try cool. Some people try standard. I can't keep up with everybody's preference, but there's something in there for everybody. I got my wife calling me right now, so I'm going to have to answer this. Hold on. Hey, babe, I'm doing the live stream right now. I'm going to have to call you back, okay? Okay, I love you. Okay, love you. Bye. My wife. Anyway, back to the live stream here. Okay, so Arthur, what's going on? You said wow, power surges can be insane. Yeah, they suck. We've got, hey Quantum, what are your thoughts on Dolby Vision versus HDR? Picture quality wise, do you think oh wait, do you think you lose anything? Yeah, I think Dolby Vision is very dark and you're going to get tired of it really quickly. What are your thoughts or what are your predictions for Samsung TV CES 2025, an upgrade of last year or anything new? I think you're definitely going to see upgrades in the color technology that they've already had an active trademark for, but I think we might possibly see some talks of, again, the mini LED, or not mini, micro LED being more streamlined. Again, showing, oh, we now have a viable model that can be purchased for like fucking 20 grand, right? But it's better than the 200,000 or 500,000 that it was at before, I guess. Progress, year by year. But that's what I would expect. Shout out to Scout. Thanks for being a bronze member here. Welcome to the VIP community, brother. Um, I'm still using the C1 because of your because of your videos. I'm considering the S90D, but I know Samsung doesn't have Dolby Vision. I mean, the S90D is a massive upgrade from the C1, so either way you win, man, for sure. because my C1 literally just sits in the closet now, and I have the 90D in its place. Um, Mike Laster, what's going on? You said one question. Sam's, what is it? Sam's has the S90 double D on sale for $13.99. Is it the same as the S90D? I don't actually know. I'd imagine so, but I'm not sure because I don't really shop at Sam's the way I used to when I was younger, so I don't actually know. Audioscape. Hey man, finally buying the S90D65 with a discount of 1200 from Samsung. When will you have updated settings? Definitely subscribing. I have some updated settings up already, just waiting for the HDR stuff. Suraj, what's going on, brother? You said best 85-inch TV recommendation if the S90D 77-inch is too small. Mm, I I'm sorry, but I'd have to stick with my 65 S95 or S90D. S90 or S95, you win either way with that. I just don't do large screens because I find the 65-inch to be the sweet spot. Um, what are your thoughts? Bought an S90D with a broken HDMI. The picture freezes every time PS5 connects. I know if Best Buy will refund me. I know if Best Buy will refund me, or should I notify my credit card? I mean, I would straight up just like get my money back by any means. I'd tell Best Buy, hey, look, I bought this TV from you. It's got this broken thing. Return my money. I'd get my money ASAP pronto for sure. Now, if they don't want to refund you, that's when I would go through the credit card. Shout out to Elijah. Thanks for being a bronze member and welcome to the VIP community, brother. Jordan, what's going on? You said, I'm looking forward to the new TVs next year. I want to see how the new Sony Bravia 10 and LG G5 look. I think that'll be definitely very promising. Full screen brightness is underrated. We have Hand. What's going on, William? So you've come around to the matte display. I would say so. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, but honestly speaking, when there's content on the screen, you really won't be able to tell it's matte finish. It's only like, honestly, it's only when there's direct light on it that you'll be able to see that it's matte. But at night, you can't tell. You can't tell at all. Past, obviously, comparatively side by side, the lack of contrast. But that's really it. Um, Libras and Lions. What's going on, brother? You said talk about Hisense U8N brightness. Thanks. No, the Hisense U8N brightness it's a bit deceptive if I'm being honest, because the whole thing they sold on was like, oh look, we're X amount of nits, right? Where I think it was like what? I don't remember. It was like what, up to 3,000 nits or some shit like that. But they don't tell you that the 55-inch was going to be a lower level of nits, which Hisense has never done before, which is why it's a big deal that it happened this year. Hisense has always been like, hey, we're going to come out and we're going to be 3,000 nits. And guess what? Even the smaller screen size with 3,000 nits, where this year they play a nasty, nasty game where if you buy the 55-inch, you're getting 1,500 nits. Fuck you then. I want to buy the TCL and get 2,400 nits for 55-inch and less money than your U8. Why would I pay you to shit on me? Like, I just so I buy a bigger screen size? Hisense is getting way too cocky. And for that alone, I was like, fuck that, man. Like, you can go kick rocks. Pound sand. So that was how I was with them. But yeah, that's what I'd say about Hisense brightness. My Sony KDL 50W 85 or 50W 85B or 805B 805B from 2014 beats most 4K TVs today. The color and contrast are so well calibrated from the factory. I didn't touch the settings. Well, they just don't make them like they used to, for sure. Ray, what's going on, brother? You said I got the Govee T2 lights on sale, $79, and Govee wall lights for $39 on sale for Black Friday. That's what's up, man. And I'm telling you, when you do that, you're gonna be like fucking chilling. Cause the way I have it set up, like everything in my room literally syncs to the lights. Like it's beyond magical. I'll probably show it off in a video or something, and you guys will be like, "What the hell are you using? That's fucking dope." But it's Gobi. I know I said it in the last one, but really, it really is. Cody says, slap a like on the stream. I appreciate it if you do slap a like on the stream, and thank you, Cody, for stopping by tonight. Webster, what's going on? Apple Jelly TV Science, what's going on? You said your garbage comment made me chuckle. I'm glad. Danny, what's going on? Do you recommend us buy now or wait for the new tellies in 2025? Mm, that's a good question. I mean, if you have the discipline, I'd say definitely wait. But I'm very, 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 very impatient, and I could not wait. So I needed my 95 now. I couldn't wait because I mean, come on, a surge protector wipes out two TVs. I'm not gonna fucking wait till 2025. Like, well, new TVs are gonna be better. No, I'm gonna buy right now, and I'm gonna buy the best I have today, and that's the 95 and the 90D. And I called it a day, and I got my two TVs, so I'm good. But that's what I would do personally, and I'm like literally talking from experience to be honest. But yeah, uh I think this is like I don't know some I don't know how to say it, but HGXG. What's going on, brother? Thanks for being a member. Got the S95D 65 2717. God damn, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, but it's a damn good TV too, though. Only thing I hate about the 95D is that they don't quite have the what is it? They don't have the speakers of the 90D. The 90D actually outperforms them in that, which I think that's just shameful because the 95 has like all these intricate looking speakers on the back and it looks like it would go crazy for audio, but it doesn't. So I think that's one of the worst things there. Sergio, what's going on, brother? You said, how are the viewing angles on the TCL Q7M? Ass water. I mean, like ass water when you're taking a crap, the splashes back at you. Ass water is terrible. That's the viewing angles on the TCL Q7M. Not great at all. And that's just as real as it gets. I would say if you are a viewing angle person, that alone is a reason to go OLED because you're not going to get that with LEDs. Not anymore. It just doesn't exist. Maxwell, what's going on? Order the Samsung S90C for what is this price? 999. It's being delivered tomorrow. Oh, you ordered it and you said you can't wait. It's being delivered tomorrow. Well, that's what's up. Danny, what's going on? You said cool uses blue light filter look. If there's expert settings, use that. Unreal Aim, what's going on? You said thoughts on the PS5 Pro upscaling for Callisto Protocol in 8K. I haven't seen it. I don't own a PS5 Pro. I'd rather go PC to be honest, which I use all the time. Bill, what's going on? You said the settings are totally worth it. I appreciate it, brother. Again, I really do love when I get the feedback because this takes a long amount of time to make, and the settings cost a lot of money to make. Because I know people don't realize it, but these TVs aren't cheap, and I'm not sponsored. Like, I don't just call Sony up on the phone and be like, "Yo, run me that brand new hot new TV you got this year." Fucking no way. They do that for all their darlings, but for people like me, I gotta pay out of pocket, and then I gotta sell it on Facebook Marketplace and lose money. So when I say settings are expensive, they are, and that's why we have to even charge $5 because you can't do it for free. It's not sustainable. You literally can't do it for free. It doesn't exist. No one's gonna hand me like what is it? A Bravia 9 for free just to do what I do. Review it honestly, which there are many flaws that'll get reviewed, and then show the settings that need work. Nobody's gonna fucking pay me for that. Nobody. Fuck that shit. Why would they? They want you to promote and make the money. And if you aren't doing that, you aren't useful as a YouTuber, no matter how big you are. And that's the real of the business that we're in. But that's why I rely on the community because, I mean, fuck that shit. Why should I give the power to the corporations to say, okay, well, I guess I'll sell out my viewers so I can stay relevant? Fuck that. Like, come on. But yeah. Jordan Brown, what's going on? You said, what's the best TV to buy under $1,000, my guy? I would buy the TCL QM8. If we're going OLED, mm, I would say look for S95Bs on eBay. I've seen a couple sub $100 or not 100. I wish that'd be great. No, sub $1,000. But yeah, that'd be my recommendation. Emmanuel Garcia, you are very welcome. No problem, man. My S95D wall mounted with quantum TV settings. Uh, played art wall. It looks alive, I tell you! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! I mean, I gotta say, I really love the passion, like, because I just make these settings, right? But I don't see like your live reactions to them until I like do them live, and so it's really good to see like so many of you guys are really seeing what I see on my end for sure. Do you have the settings for the U6? I don't. I don't believe I do. No. Panasonic or Sony A95L all day, brother. There is no competition. OLED Panasonic is not touching the A95L, no matter what anyone says. Um, Audioscape, what's up, brother? You said thank you for all your hard work and thank you for watching and acknowledging the efforts, man. Sergio, how's the viewing angles on the TCL Q7M? Dog water. Webster, what's going on? I finally purchased a budget TV Vizio 6 months ago after the picture stopped showing on one of my TVs. You said Vizio fell off so badly. Yeah, they did. What would you recommend for someone that likes Google TV user interface but likes the sharpness and brightness of an S95D? S90D, I would buy one of those and I would just get a Google stick or Chrome whatever Chromecast. I don't keep up. I don't use them. But I would just do that. That's what I would recommend. And you get the Google interface, but you get your wonderful Samsung experience. Let me just tell you, Smart Things is like unbeatable right now. Like you aren't touching Smart Things. That is the greatest app slash integrated like ecosystem ever. Because especially if you own Samsung devices, like I shit you not, I have my Samsung washer machine washing the clothes. It stops, pings on the TV, bing, tells me I'm done with the washer machine. You're cooking, it'll tell you when your stove is done. I mean, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. You can find your phone from your TV, push a button, your phone starts ringing. It's the stuff of legends. So yeah, that's what I would do for sure. Have you noticed any nerfs on the S90D so far? Yes, full screen brightness nerfs. Jamaican Livity, I think. What's going on? You said okay, okay. Give an honest Jamaican response to your take on the QN900D compared to the Bravia 9 and LG G4. I would have to say the brightness is going to go probably pretty similarly between the Bravia 9 and QN900D, but I would give the edge to the LG G4 for the overall picture quality between the two, where there's a slight argument that colors can be better on the QN900D, but they don't really do their best for those 8K TVs though. Benjamin, what's going on? You said, in my experience, the S90D has horrible aliasing. I get picture lines in almost every game, and I wonder how to fix that. And I haven't experienced that, so I don't really know what to tell you, my friend. I have great experiences with gaming. It's very clean, actually. You could try your noise reduction features for sure. Um, HGXG, what's going on? You said QTV is giving you cheap for premium high user tier setting stuff. Fire. I appreciate it. Um, God above all, massive shout out for that username. Christ is King. I feel you, brother. So 77-inch S90D or 98-inch QM7. That's not a competition at all. I would go S90D all day, every day. Um, how's the viewing angles on the TCL QM7? Is a standard VA panel not so good? Not so good at all. A Quantum, how are you doing, homie? Doing pretty good. Shoto 99, or well, technically 999, but yeah. Um, the PS5 Pro needs a really good TV to see its benefits. I don't doubt that. VA panel with ultra wide viewing angle will have ultra wide viewing angle for is better for a VA panel. I just could never get into PC gaming. It looks like it's the future more and more though. Well, if you're on the fence for being a PC gamer, let me just tell you, somebody who used to be predominantly only a console gamer, it is the easiest thing on the planet Earth. All you need is a wireless Logitech keyboard or something with a trackpad built into it, right? I'll literally do this in real time. I'll reach over here, grab mine. This is what I use, right? Right here on the side of my bed. And I use this trackpad, so I don't need a mouse separately. You only lose one USB peripheral. And that's it. You turn on your thing, you use your Xbox controller, same as you would after you get up and turn on your PC. If you're lazy like me and you don't want to get up, there's a company called SwitchBot. You can buy a SwitchBot, and it's an app that works via Bluetooth with this device that has this little arm that like turns on switches. That's why it's called a SwitchBot. And you just push it, and it'll turn on your PC for you and turn it off. So you don't have to do anything. It's brilliant. Okay. Batteries do die. My battery's currently dead. I have to buy another battery. You have to change them out. They're not rechargeable, but maybe the new ones are. I might want to look into that now that I'm thinking about it out loud. Like turn my cell phone or something. I don't know. But still, SwitchBot, turn it on. You don't even have to touch it hands-free, and then you just use your controller, your mouse to go to Steam, click on it, open up the Steam app, go into the store, buy what game you want, download it onto your hard drive, click on it, load it up. You could do big screen, or you could just do it however you want, man. It's so easy. You'll kick yourself for not doing it earlier. I mean, I was just like having one hell of a gaming session last night playing Jujutsu Kaisen, the Cursed Clash or something like that. The game that everybody hates. But it's not that bad though. They have new DLC though, and it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's clunky, but I think it did a pretty decent job. So that's what I would say there. Um, you still live? I thought you have died. Nope, I'm alive and kicking. If you have a 98-inch VA, I'm not sure would it would you what? Not sure you would even need a viewing angle though. At 98 inches, probably not. I mean, whose room is so big that even after a 98-inch screen, they need viewing angles? I don't know. That's like the whole damn wall. Um, yeah, it's good. A lot of cheaters on PC. Yeah, I know there's a lot of cheaters on PC. That's valid. That's valid. But they get banned pretty fast though. Nikki Jr., what's going on? You said S90D is a monster, better than the 95 in my opinion, due to the matte finish. That's totally valid. What do you think of LG C2? I think it's a okay TV, but you could do better. Oh, we're getting to the part where I talked about the conspiracies, reptilians and shapeshifters. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that stuff is kind of crazy because there was this rock concert with this guy. He was doing. I'm always watching TikTok, and this shit just pops up in my feed, right? And this guy's doing this rock concert, and like his eyes are normal, and literally, like it's from the live show. His eyes literally just turned to straight like demon reptile. Like what the fuck? Like how do you do that out of nowhere? I don't know. And then there was like this America's Got Talent thing. You can look it up where this fucking guy just turns into a fucking like animal. Like I think it was like a zebra. Like that. Come on. How would you turn into a zebra and then turn back to a human? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like you can't move an animal the size of a zebra that fast off and on stage without levers, pulleys, smoke, mirror, something. So that's why I'm like, that's some shape shifting shit. That is right in front of your face. It's bold, and I don't know, man. I think you might be onto something with this Unreal Aim. Um, we have. Do you have settings for the 55-inch Hisense U8N? I do. If so, how do I get them? You join by clicking join on the channel member ship icon, or you get the link from me in one of the comments. I'm always throwing out links for it when it doesn't work for some people in some regions. Shout out to Emmanuel Garcia. Thank you for your donation of $1.99. I appreciate it. Shout out to Emmanuel Garcia for your donation of $2.99. I'm literally just now seeing this, so sorry if I haven't really shouted out super chats because it takes a while for me to see it on my end because I have to scroll. Mark, what's going on? Have you reviewed the Element Zumo, I'm guessing, TVs? Really cheap 120 hertz TV, but worried about that the quality would suck. I won't go near Element TVs. I don't recommend them, honestly. It's a Walmart brand. I say run from those type of TVs. I'm between the PS5 Pro and an $800 PC, even though I know an $800 PC won't go max settings. Oh, but you don't need to go max. I'll tell you what I did. I have an RTX 2060 Super. That's not top tier at any level for PC graphic card for my wife's PC. Mine is a 2080 Super. It's not, again, not the flagship. My 3080 Ti burned out on me and died, which sucks. But the 2080 Super does good. But the 2060 Super, what you can do is you can do downsampling. So just render it at a higher resolution and output it at a lower one. Problem solved. That'll help a lot. You'll lose frames here and there, maybe. Or you can use something like anisotropic filtering times 16. That will solve 90% of things looking really crappy for 1080p. And don't let you force, FXAA on all games and your global settings and NVIDIA. Problem solved. Like literally problem solved. It looks amazing. But I found 9 times out of 10, target 1080p resolution, render at a higher resolution like 2K, 4K if you want, who knows, and then downsample it down to output to 1080p. Brilliant every day of the week. It will look so much better. It just does. And it works really well on the RTX card. So I would go $800 PC over a PS5 personal thing. I would, because no matter how you look at it, PS5 will never have mods. I'm telling you right now, once you get on your favorite game and you learn how to mod, follow a YouTube tutorial. It's not hard. It takes maybe all of like 8 minutes on the harder end of games. Some games are hard. It'll take you like 30 minutes to learn. But most games are usually like 10 minutes and you're modded up. And that's only when you don't know what you're doing. Once you see it, especially like for like Unreal 5, Unreal 4 engine games where they have the tilde mods. Once you see tilde mods, you know you're dealing with what's called pack mods, and those are the easiest mods to work with because all you got to do is usually go into the name of your game. So like let's say Sparking Zero, go Sparking Zero, go into the content folder, go into packs, and then under packs you're going to do tilde mods and like make a folder called tilde mods, okay? And then you download all your mods and put them in there, run your game, and it's done. It's that simple. That's it. So yeah, it's totally worth it, man. Totally, totally, totally worth it. Um, I thought the S95D looked a lot better than the S90D, but I know that's not the consensus. Depending on who you ask, it can definitely be that way. Arthur, okay, let's hear it, Arthur. Arthur says, my conspiracy theory is that TV manufacturers always leave the best panels and technology for themselves, their families, and powerful people. I imagine there is almost alien TV tech that the masses won't see. That's pretty valid. I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give that one. That's pretty valid. Because I mean, come on, you're not gonna tell me that they figured out AI, right? Chat GPT, and they're not gonna fucking make some prototype when we know that they have concept cars that only the rich can buy. So of course, why wouldn't they have concept TVs that only the rich could buy? Makes sense to me. S90C was 65. Oh, S90C 65 was a Best Buy Black Friday deal I've ever. It was the best Black Friday deal I've ever gotten. $821 open box. Hot damn. Threw on a 5-year warranty for peace of mind, and you said can still max out the brightness in the service menu. Yeah, that's a pretty big one right there for sure. How do you? Okay, so Hudson Tech FX, you say, how do you feel about Rich depleting his videos and wait, depleting his videos and him having his downfall? Review Tech USA, I don't think about ever, so that's not really something that I could care about. I would say if he needs help, God bless him. I wish him all the best. That's all I can say there. Ray says thanks, no problem. Quantum, hey, I saw the Q7, or rather the U7N in stores. Exact U8K screen, very glossy. The QM7 is matted. I would grab a U7N all day, any day over that though. Or rather, U7N over the TCL any day. Hey, that's power too. I personally didn't see the matte finish screen though on the U7 I reviewed. It was the 55-inch model. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it wasn't matte screen at all. It was pretty glossy actually, and it had like really good reflection handling. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty decent. It was a semi-gloss screen, but it was pretty good. A mirror, but not bad. Um, what is it? Shout out to Lynette C. Thanks for being a silver member and welcome to the VIP community. MVP JB, what's going on? You said do S90C 65-inch second gen. Don't I mean I guess you're asking should you do that or I'm not sure. Um, True, those 95 speakers suck. Yes, they do. Could be Gen 1 or Gen 2, most likely Gen 2. I got the S90C for 99, and you said I like it. Well, what does it say here? It's getting really tiny, the writing. I was planning on modding into a 95. It's not delivered yet. Should I cancel it and get the S90D for 1400? Really been going back and forth. I hate that feeling when you want a nice TV and you're like, shit, I could do this, but if I do that, I could do that. And you're going back and forth, switching, flip flopping. Trust me, I do it too. Even knowing as much as I know about TVs, I still fucking do it. Like the A95L, for example. I kind of missed that TV because of the HDR experience and how fucking 3D it was and how great, I mean, great, like mind-numbingly good it was for Crunchyroll when streaming. That shit was like drooling good. It was really good. But then I look at the motion, I'm like, Sony, just give me the good motion and that kind of three dimensionality and that color throw and better brightness, maybe, and I'll be happy. I'm not that picky. But yeah, I know what you mean. I probably would go with the 95 though. I would. I mean, I would no, because I would do the 90D only because it has the color booster, and that is a true benefit for sure. I have the 90C and the 65 90C, 77 and 65. Actually sold my 55 S90D. Well, I wouldn't do that personally. I don't know. I couldn't get behind the 90C though. I really could not, unless they modded it into something. I just got the 90D. Can't wait to get the settings for sure, and let me know how you like them. Ray, what's going on? You said the S90D 65-inch 2024 model on Amazon is 1397, and you said, is it a good TV? Wait, what? Is this the TV you like, and is it a good price? Yeah. I mean, for 65 inches, that's a pretty good price. I'm gonna say that. 13, that's fair. And no, yeah, it's definitely one of the TVs that I absolutely love. I think it's fantastic. Now, for the sake of time, I'm gonna skip down to the bottom to the more recent ones. I think I'm pretty doing pretty good time, but I just want to make sure because I feel like I'm gonna miss a lot of recent questions if I don't get here because we're running out of time here. Wayne, what's going on? You said U8NR QM8 for the picture quality and low bit upscaling. Thanks. Enjoy your weekend. Not really sure what to respond to that one. QM7 is semi-gloss versus high gloss. I believe the QN900D is a silent killer that no one talks about. It's just the price is a bit too steep still. I mean, yeah, that really kills it because you have QD OLED on the market, and who really wants still to see blooming after paying that much money? Not me. 55-inch QM7 is better according to most, just FYI. However, if you can stretch forward 65, do it. Also 65 TCL, Q691F, or 65 Q6881G are goodbyes. What's the best alternative to the Hisense U8N, the TCL QM8? That's going to be about the same price too. So far using the S90D 77-inch, and I absolutely love it. And what's going on, Jordy? Thanks for stopping by tonight. No, what's going on? You said, what is a good TV that complements a what is it? The 14 900K with a 4080 Super. I mean, the only right answer when you're talking about like i9 processors and shit like that, your only real bet is gonna be QD OLED. I would say any QD OLED really. I don't care if it's Sony, don't care if it's Samsung. I wouldn't go LED for that. And the reason being is because OLEDs have like almost this superpower where like when you hook them up to a PC, you go into the NVIDIA driver since you're saying you have a 4080 Super, go in and adjust your bit depth, your color depth to 12 bit. Do it. You might have to change some things around with the chroma sampling to like 422. So go 422 chroma sampling, go 12 bit on the color, go limited on the dynamic range, and you're good. Watch the way the colors on that TV transform, especially if you go into on Samsung or any other TV, go into your deep color, whatever it is, and enable it so that your TV can output that and be blown away. Just get ready because no TV on earth can compete with what QD OLED is doing in that department. It's something truly special for real. Do not buy the DU7000. Lots of reports of failing TVs. Yeah, don't buy the DU anything. Like those crystal UHD TVs that you're going to see this year at really cheap prices. Please, for the love of God, don't buy them. Samsung takes a piss on you when they have that line, so don't do it. Still no need to upgrade the S95B. I hear you, brother. I wouldn't have upgraded if mine didn't burn out on me. So yeah, I totally feel you, man. Your HDR settings are out of this world. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do work very hard. It takes a long time. So seeing that definitely helps. Got the S90D a month ago for 1350. Not bad at all. High quantum TCL Q7M or the X90L. What would be your choice? I would go with the Q7M. I don't mess with the Sony line of mediocrity, to be honest. Just being real, I think there are way better TVs for the price for sure. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I think I got to everybody more or less, unless I refresh this screen and then there's like a drove more comments that I just didn't see, which tends to happen to me from time to time. And yeah, there's a lot more that I just did not see. This is what sucks. Like I can't keep up. I will try to, but I will ultimately get dominated by the comments. All right, so let's see how much battery we got. Well, we were good on battery, so we're good. What you said, what? The QN900D gut punches the U8N TCL QM8 while what? Ambushing, I think you said, ambushing and elbow blocking the Bravia 9 for the best overall color. I mean, I guess so. I will just let you have that one. Sure, why not? Um, uh, product. I'm not even gonna prodigy. I don't know. I think I'm getting it wrong. I know I am. Did you catch the LG fanboys fake shootout results? I didn't. What was said there? QM8 doesn't have a 55-inch or any other alternatives at this or any other alternatives for the U8 in at the 55. I mean, I would just go. It's hard. I mean, you could always try to do the 65 because they're very similarly priced. It's just bigger, I guess. Because you're talking the difference between 899 for the Hisense U8N on most days. On sale days, it should be 699 if they're doing it the right way, but who knows? Um, Guess what? Good quality ain't always the Sony. Haha. Yeah, that is true. Sony has a lot of work to do in a lot of ways. Shout out to Scott Woodford. Thanks for being a member for 41 months. Hot damn, man. And again, thank you for being a silver member of the community here. Best 42-inch TV for PS5 Pro. Let me think. I'll have a PS5 Pro and I want the best experience, but I can only do 42 inches. I'll probably go on Walmart.com if I'm creative and probably look at something like the Sony A90K or A90J. I probably would go that route, or I would go for a monitor. Me personally, I probably would go for a monitor, but you said TV, so I'm probably thinking I probably would just go the Sony route. They might not have the most responsive, but they're decent enough, I guess. If I'm being really like not, I wouldn't say lazy, but like I don't really care much for the color aspect, and I would just call it a day at the LG C series, C3, C4, whatever, and I would just get the smallest version of that. So that's what I would end up doing, but I probably would go the monitor route for real. Quantum, do you have settings for the LG B4? I do not, not for that one. I have the C4 and the G4, but we didn't do the B4. So unfortunately, that one's going to have to, kind of take a back burner or be on the back burner rather. Um, I will add that I finally upgraded to 1640 on the S95B, and the settings you put out for that was ridiculous. 4K HDR, best I've seen on this screen. That's what's up. Love to hear it. S90D over the Bravia 7 every century of the, you know what I mean? Every century of the whatever you want to call it, every day of the week, man. There's no competition there at all. It would get demolished out of the water for sure, especially when you talk about with my settings. There's no competition there. Sergio, what's going on? You said, how is the upscaling on the S90D? It's pretty good actually. Very three-dimensional, a lot of isolation, but something like the G4 will be sharper. I have three options: the U7N, Samsung 55-inch Q60DB. I think out of all your options, the U7N is going to be the best for sure. Be real with me on how much of an upgrade is the S90 and the S95 to an A90J from 3 years ago. Okay, so this is gonna be more of an analytical type of way of breaking it down, but this is the only way anybody can be real with you, okay? So with the A90J, it has amazing sharpness and clarity. That is almost immediately gonna be a downgrade when you go to the 90 series. They don't have that level of clarity in a lot of ways, but your motion immediately better. Colors, day and night better, like day and night. It's not even a comparison, especially the 90. It's so pure and so vibrant and so rich. And the brightness, there's no way. It's a I would say it's a generational upgrade. It literally looks like the 90 came from the end of, I would say, a 5-year period about to start. So let's say, you know, it like, again, like, from fucking 2000 to 2005, and then, like, it was right on the cusp of turning over into 2006, but it never happened. That's essentially what it would look like. It's close to being a next gen TV, but not quite there, and what you'll notice is the color and brightness. Those are the 2 things where it just could not, and that's where you'll see the S95 and S90D murking everybody, like, everybody. Um, Q7M 65-inch best value. I would say yes. Thank you. Going to pick up, gonna pick it up tonight. I'm excited. That's what's up. I appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna subscribe. I'm sorry. I'm definitely gonna subscribe. Trying to breathe some life into my S90D. Need those settings. Hey, I got you, brother. And for everybody who has an S90 or S95D, these are going to get full life support. So basically, as long as it lives for me, you're going to be getting settings. So that's just how these TVs work. The same happens with the Q8FN, the LG C1. These TVs are still getting lifetime support. The Hisense U8G and the Sony A8G Bravia OLED. These are my TVs that I will keep giving full life support for everybody who ends up with those TVs. Otherwise, we have to do it within the review cycle, and then obviously we have to go from there. Um, I'm gonna get to the last question of the night because I do want to spend some time with my family here. Do you ever? I'm sorry. You use different settings for gaming versus watching TV? Sometimes, not always. It really does depend because sometimes I have to for HDR, but I don't always HDR game, rarely ever. And then sometimes I like the game mode loadout, but usually I use the same as I watch TV for gaming, since for SDR they're very similar anyway. Just got a 77-inch S90D. It has the firmware 1201, unfortunately, and I ordered it from the what you got the service remote, and you said that will I be able to access the service menu? And if so, what should I avoid? You probably won't be able to access the service menu. I haven't had any luck with it. You got to let me know how that goes. But so far, I haven't seen the service menu be very viable. It's been kind of messed up. So there's not much I can say or do there. If you had to choose one, which would you choose, the S95D or the S90D? If I had no choice and I could only have one and only one, I would choose the S95D because I like the extra brightness. That's really, I mean, the contrast is great, but the full screen brightness is very important for a lot of things, and I just don't want to sacrifice that. Um, but that being said, I'm gonna end the live stream here because again, it's like an hour and 22 minutes, and that's a very long time. I know a lot of people probably won't watch the full thing, but hopefully this will help you guys out. If I didn't get to your questions, ask them in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. It's time to go be with the kids and go spend time with my wife, but God bless you guys and have a good night. For those who maybe might not tune back in before we start with the Thanksgiving holiday, hope you guys enjoy your holiday with your families and everything like that. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching the number one brand in honesty. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.